Hello, lovely people. This is Nicole.
And this is Samantha.
With the power of we are here to switch it up and teach you about business, relationships, and how to not only survive, but make it in Los Angeles.
In each episode, we will have top influential guests from the world of real estate. We work hard,
We stage hard.
and we get it done.
The power of we.
Hi, Boo.
Hello, how are you today?
I am feeling so much better. I can't believe that influenza A. That
know.
knocked me on my ass.
So many people are getting that now.
It is seriously the worst. I highly suggest
Yeah.
everybody stay away from it.
Take your vitamins.
Especially if you travel.
Yeah.
But I'm so excited about our guest today.
I know, so exciting. Today we're joined by Alison Deyette, founder of Alison Deyette Media. She's a media trainer, on-camera coach, public speaking strategist, and brand storytelling expert who works with CEOs, founders, actors, athletes, musicians, and thought leaders. She interviewed nearly 500 celebrities and has worked with organizations like Meta, Planned Parenthood, Rag & Bone, and more. Welcome to our podcast,
Wow.
ladies.
God, I haven't heard the word Planned Parenthood in a long time.
Oh, really?
I went there in high school.
Yeah, no. Well, I am heavily involved in advocacy for reproductive rights and
Wow.
and with this administration, Planned Parenthood
Yeah.
is constantly being attacked.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
trying to remove women's rights when it comes
Yeah.
to just taking care of our bodily functions
Right.
or
Yeah, exactly.
making a choice.
It's so
So,
important.
let's start from the beginning, shall we?
Sure.
Wow. So you have interviewed 500 celebrities?
I have. Yeah, it's been
Okay,
pretty exciting.
explain that
How does
to
that
me.
feel?
So, well, it started because I originally started as a journalist and an editor on
Okay.
magazines in New York City.
Okay.
I was
Very
one
cool.
of those people that knew from a young age I was going to be a writer, I was going to be an editor, I was going to work on magazines.
Right.
So within college, I was already getting published, and then I lived right outside New York City growing up. So in New York City, I went into magazines and got a job, and I was a little bit cocky.
Yeah.
And I said, I'll come here for this. It was a new magazine. I said, but I'm not going to be an editorial assistant, which is generally the first job. You go,
Okay.
you file, you get coffee.
Yeah.
And I said, no, make me an assistant editor and
Good
give
for
me my
you.
first article within 3 months. And
Wow.
the editor-in-chief, thank goodness, I had some really fabulous female mentors
Yeah.
Wow.
within my career.
That's
and
amazing.
she gave me my first interview, and then she gave me my own column interviewing
wow.
celebrities.
Wow.
And then over the years, I've done interviews on television, on the red carpet, for a variety of different TV shows. And it just progressed from there. So it worked really well for a while with younger people.
Right.
When I actually interviewed Britney Spears, I spent an entire day with her
Wow.
behind the scenes. Pepsi was sponsoring her new tour.
Right.
And they had me come and spend the day with her, and then I interviewed her on stage in front of 7,000 people.
Wow.
And then she
Wow.
had me stay on stage for a little bit and do a little dance routine.
Oh,
Oh
so
my
fun.
God.
Younger girls, anytime I was on a plane,
Yeah.
and we just, talk about something, and I was like, yeah, I've spent the day with Britney Spears. And they would be like, oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
So cool.
Yeah, we staged her house in Calabasas.
yeah. So
Yeah.
everything from Britney Spears to I've been with Ryan Gosling interviewing him on his
Nice.
birthday,
Wow.
to Steve Carell, to Miley Cyrus, Scarlett Johansson. Wow.
And what year was that?
This has all been everything within the last 20 years. I mean,
Yeah.
I've still been. I just interviewed Mandy Moore recently, Storm Reed.
Wow.
And do you have like a favorite interview you've done?
No, I will say many, many years ago, I spent time with Jim Carrey, and that was a blast.
Yeah.
I'm sure that
I'm
was
sure
really
that was
fun.
fun.
Just a blast. So there's some people, Jessica, oh my gosh, I just went blank on her name, Jessica Chastain. Absolutely adored her. Really speaks out. She's an advocate. She keeps up to date with what's going on in the world.
Oh,
and
that's
she
nice.
there's no hesitancy on telling you what her beliefs are and what she's going to fight for.
And that must make it so much easier to interview.
Oh, absolutely. When people have a point of view and a perspective and a story to share.
And it's not just they're talking about their movie or their thing. Right. They're actually interesting.
Yeah. No, I was working with a Variety Power of Women event that they hold twice a year in New York and LA. And I was covering red carpet. And we're winding down. We're all going to go into the ballroom for a lunch. And Thandie Newton, who lives in London, and she's amazing, she saw me from across the way. She'd arrived kind of late.
Right.
But she loved my dress. Aww. And she was across the way, and she just said, "Oh, girl, I love your dress." And I said, "Ooh, thank you." And she said, "You want to talk?" And I said, "Yeah, of course." So she came over,
God.
and we started chatting. And because it was this moment where you could feel vulnerable and energized about women. Like, let's support each other.
Right.
Let's buoy one another and be kick ass.
Yeah.
She proceeded to tell me a story about how when she was a teenager in this business, there was the casting couch and how a casting person assaulted her.
Wow.
But for so many years, women didn't come forward.
Right. It's amazing.
And now it was like, now I'm ready to share my story.
Wow.
Mind you, at the same time of the interview, her publicist is behind her, unbeknownst to her, saying like, wrap it up.
No way.
Wow.
And I'm just thinking, I have to absolutely ignore that.
Right.
Because a woman is sharing her story.
Yeah.
Right. That's crazy.
So it's great.
I mean, you have seen so much in Hollywood.
Yeah.
I mean, Hollywood has changed so much. I mean, it used to
So
be big
much.
celebrities. Now it's like Netflix celebrities.
Right, yeah.
It's very different.
Yeah, we've moved off linear programming and TV. It's all streaming. You don't have to go to the movie theater anymore if you don't want to.
Which is kind of sad.
It is sad. My
And
husband
then
and I will
this-
still make a date night. And
Yeah,
go to
I
the
love
movies.
that. And it's also sad for the people that want to look up to celebrities.
Right.
Because they're not really the celebrities that we knew.
Right.
You know, the ones that you guys know now are like, oh, that one's on Netflix. And it's like, everyone's on Netflix.
Right. Yeah.
You know
No,
what
there's
I'm
so
saying?
many streaming channels and YouTube. So everybody's idea of a celebrity or star
Exactly.
is so different nowadays.
Well, it's also, you know, every celebrity, there's influencers or celebrities.
Exactly.
And I
which
feel like
is
journalism
crazy
has
to me.
changed so much over the years as well. What do you think has been like the biggest change that you've
I would
seen?
say the biggest change is because we don't have as much linear television, meaning like your ABC, NBC,
Right, yeah.
CBS, and layoffs. And we're not necessarily picking up magazines or newspapers to
Right,
read
yeah.
anymore. Everything
Right.
is on an app.
And like Twitter.
Yeah.
That's with
That's also
that,
sad.
fewer people are, like, say, tuning into TV or trusting it.
Right.
Right.
That a lot of journalism has actually moved to places like Substack. I get some of the
Yeah, that's
best
true.
news from journalists that I trust and can still dive deep on a regular basis, but they're a little more even niche in their
Right.
topics.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And also, I can just scroll through my Apple News app and find, say, The Guardian or The New York Times or The
Yeah.
Washington Post. I can kind of go for, that topic piques my interest.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Right.
read that article, or just kind of scroll and get my latest for the day without feeling so viscerally angry at what I'm
Right.
reading.
wow.
And when you started your column, when you first started journalism, how do you know what you wanted your niche to be?
I think, well, for the column itself, I think it was more of the excitement and
Yeah.
the awe of like, oh my God, I get to spend like a few hours or an afternoon with a celebrity. This is
Yeah.
really cool.
Right.
And that bridge to then interviewing kind of all walks of life based on
Right.
the story. And then it just happened that one of my editors, the fashion editor at the time, needed some help. She liked the way I dressed, which at the time I was making no money in New York City, wearing a lot of vintage clothes because at the time that was less expensive.
Yeah.
Right.
And she just said, hey, can you come on a shoot and help out? And that kind of expanded a whole nother area of my career that I started working on fashion beauty shoots, which led to
Wow.
this. I'd always had this wanderlust, love travel, and I was then suddenly thrust into directing photo shoots all over the world.
Oh, wow.
So if I wasn't
How
at
was
one
that?
day, well, I got to travel. So that was amazing. I mean, I got to go to some amazing locations from Morocco or South Africa or
What
all
was your
over
favorite
Europe.
location?
Oh God. I definitely love Morocco. That was just so intriguing and cool. I always loved going to Paris.
Yeah, I know. Paris is one of my favorites.
There's just something about Paris.
Yeah.
It's a feeling.
And you're working with beauty and photo shoots.
And fashion.
That's cool.
And when you're on a photo shoot,
It's
you get
so fun.
so much more access than other, like, the tourists get.
Right.
Yeah.
So then we're there, and since I was the director leading the shoot each time, and we're like, okay, guys, we'd always do this powwow. All right, we're here for a week. We know we're getting access to all these great things. How would everybody feel if we try to shoot a little faster, work a little harder the first few days, and then we could have, say, 2 days off at the end and go back to those phenomenal places and really explore. And I'll tell you, every single person was like, yes, please.
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
I mean, I would spend winters, at least 3 weeks every winter on various Caribbean islands. And we'd also be like, okay, we're on this beach, but we're shooting. Now let's go back and
That's great.
Like,
That's so
That's
nice.
amazing.
surf this day instead when we're done. Yeah, it was
That's
really
so
good.
fun.
And it's
So do
definitely
you
continued.
would you say you like to be in front of the camera or directing more?
In front of the camera is a blast for me.
Yeah.
You know, it's just me. I'll have great camaraderie with the crew, and because I've learned so many of the roles behind the scenes, I respect what they do.
That's great. That's important.
I mean, I've
first
learned
of
the
all.
lighting, the sound, the environment.
There's
to
so
the
much
point
that goes into it.
Sometimes when I've co-hosted shows or hosted TV shows, I will go on to, like, if say we're shooting at a house, I will be that person and like, let me just see the shot. Okay, can we move the cleaning fluid bottle and the rag from the back? You know,
So you're basically setting the stage.
yeah, I want things to look lovely.
Right.
And I'm, as much as they should look lived in depending on where we are,
Right.
I also want it to be engaging, a lovely environment that someone is not distracted by leftover food or dishes in the sink kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
That makes
but
sense.
being on camera is a blast for me. I really enjoy it. Being behind the scenes, I just further gain that respect for the people who really are experts in all those other parts of the job.
Yeah.
But it's important. I think it just brings this sense of we're all in this together and we can get it done faster because I want us all to work well together.
Right.
So, as a business owner and a podcast and an online store, I really still want to believe in the magazines. I really want to do more magazines, but does it work? Is my question. I just did a shot for Los Angeles magazine, and it's like, I think it will work because we can Instagram it, all that crap that I can't stand.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just different.
Social media is a lot of work.
Yeah. It's just so much. But I think I wish magazines would come back so much stronger. Do you think it ever will?
I don't think it ever will.
That's a
I think
bummer.
we're really stuck with
What about newspapers?
digital. Same thing with newspapers. I mean, Washington
That's
Post.
sad.
Jeff Bezos just laid off a ton of people on the Washington
uh-huh.
Post. I think we're really at that digital stage of things. But I do miss that tangible feeling
Yes.
of going to the
yeah.
airport. You're going to get on
Yes.
this long flight and you pick up a stack of magazines to read on the plane. And when I was an editor and director, I would tear out pages of things as inspiration from other magazines.
I mean,
Right,
even our
yeah.
vision boards, I make the girls do. I'm like, get magazines, put it up
But
there.
honestly, it's hard to find them now. I
It
couldn't even
is,
find them when I was
yeah.
going this
I
year.
was working with this one brand, and I was media training the designers. There's a brand called Vix Palais Harmony, and she's from Brazil, and we were trying to create vision boards for some of their upcoming shoots and what they were going to do with their social media. And I was having to go online to find images rather than maybe taking photos of things we found in magazines.
Yeah. It's just
So where do you see people doing a lot of their media advertising? Just Instagram and Facebook?
I think it's Instagram, Facebook,
TikTok, YouTube.
TikTok. Yeah. And then there's more integrations within like the streaming services now.
Yeah. So like the celebrities, they're not just doing magazines articles. They're doing all kinds of stuff.
think
Yeah.
Even-
no,
yeah.
they're doing teams. I mean, magazines used to be models,
Yeah.
and then it moved over into
To
celebrities.
celebrities.
Yeah.
And now it's Instagrammers.
Yeah, now-
or whatever
yeah.
you call it.
Well,
Influencers. I always
magazines is
give
just
her
like,
trouble.
I don't know. I don't think I was ever like looking at magazines.
Yeah, and
not.
not, it wasn't your thing.
Your daughter's just different generation.
I know. I just love it
trying to
though.
think.
It really, it's just, I mean, when I designed my first logo for my company,
Right.
I wanted it to look like a magazine. And when I was staging, I always put out the Angelino magazine
Yeah,
on
sure.
the desk because I wanted people to see, look on your desk, and this beautiful luxury magazine
Yeah.
was beautiful on the desk.
Yeah. No, I'm
know?
a creative consultant for a magazine, and I oversee all their digital.
Okay.
And so we take that beautiful magazine that's like an Angelino, oversized, beautiful, luxury space, but I take care of all the digital, and it is sad because it just doesn't translate. Like when we have our fashion photographer put together this beautiful spread in the magazine, it's a full page.
Yeah.
Digitally, it's so much smaller. It doesn't have that same impact.
Right. Which one is that?
It's called Ocean Blue World.
Oh, okay.
It's based out of Mexico. The publisher's in Cabo, but you can find it in America, but and online and all throughout Mexico. And but yeah, it's a beautiful magazine.
So you're so busy. You're doing a lot of things. What do you do to keep yourself sane?
Anything that will make me laugh. I mean,
Okay,
I love
good.
that.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is the only thing. I mean,
Right?
I'll go on TikTok and I'll just make sure that algorithm is all about like cute puppies and pranks.
That's
Yeah.
literally mine too.
Sometimes my husband will lean over and be like, "Oh, I think you got to fix that algorithm. It's bogging down."
So funny.
But
funny.
between myself, my husband, and my best friend, the three of us are kind of in this little inner circle of sharing various memes and videos.
so
and,
funny.
That's good.
And we call it our little safe space vault.
Cute.
We can be a little inappropriate. We can be a little bit naughty.
Right.
We do joke at times that my friend's his husband is not part of our trio. We
That's
love his
funny.
husband,
But
but
not-
it's just not the
yeah.
same.
That's funny.
It's just
Funny.
yeah, it's our own little inappropriate circle, and it's in the vault, and nobody else knows about it.
I love
And-
that.
That's good.
Makes you laugh.
But
We
it
love
makes
that.
us laugh.
Yeah.
So let's go back to
Wait, so how'd you meet your
coaching.
husband?
I met my husband. So he develops TV shows.
Okay,
Yeah.
very cool.
And my manager at the time, who had never played matchmaker,
I did talk to you on
Yeah.
the phone.
Yeah,
I was
yes,
like,
yes.
she sounds very familiar. I talked to so many people. But
So
wow, okay, I remember
he
this.
and I had met twice before when he was working on developing TV shows.
Uh-huh.
And we just hit it off. But I lived in New York City. He lived out here in LA. 2.5 years went by. My manager calls me up and she said, "I've never done this before, but I'd like to play matchmaker." One is with an entertainment lawyer who may just become your lawyer. And another one is with a guy you've met before. And I tell you, without even thinking, I said, "Dason?" And she said, "What the fuck?" Yes, but how can you know that? I said, "I don't know," but it was like a name was in a little locked cabinet in the back of my mind, because each time I met him, I just saw a kind, smart human being. Oh. No games, no nothing.
And how long have you been married?
And we have now been married since 2009. We've been together since 2007. And from that phone call, I just said, "Set me up on a date with him." And when
See, it can happen at
the
any
next time
time.
I came to LA, we had a weekend of dates. One of my other gay best friends called me after meeting him that weekend and said, "That's the guy you're going to marry. I'm certain of it." And a day later we said, "God, I live in New York City. You're in LA. I've never dated bi-coastally, but let's go for it." And we saw each other every 3 weeks for a year and 3 months. And then
That's a
suddenly
great story.
We bought a house together, weren't even engaged, but we knew we were going to be together and got engaged,
amazing.
married, and it's really been fantastic ever since.
And do you have
so
kids?
cute.
No kids, but we've always have dogs.
Yeah.
and
Love
we
dogs.
and my best friend Jesse and his husband adopted 2 boys, and we are the godparents.
Oh,
So we're really involved in their lives.
That's
yeah.
Oh,
nice.
that's very cool.
Yeah.
That's such a cute story.
Right?
Yeah.
So wait, let's go back to coaching. So
Sure.
so I would like to know 3 things you can tell our audience let's say they're trying to whatever, be an actress or whatever they're trying to do.
For being in front of the camera?
Yeah, for being in front of the camera. What would you tell them to do?
Well, I would say whatever lines you have. So whether you're giving a speech, whether you're talking to camera, it could even be an audition, or maybe you're just getting a segment on KTLA, because I've worked on for KTLA for like 18 years.
Yeah.
I always tell people, write out what you want to say.
That's great.
Then say it out loud. How you write is very different than how you speak. We don't necessarily, you might say, I would not do that, but we don't talk that way. We're like, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
So I say, when you start saying the words of what you want to say out loud, you start feeling the words in your mouth.
Yeah.
And then you kind of change the pitch and the tone and the cadence. And you start finding those phrases or words that you want to have more impact, or I call it a punch. And there may be something a little more serious. So then you might be a little quieter because you want people to lean in because it's more serious.
Right.
But if it's lighthearted and fun, you might be like, yeah, let's talk about this.
Right.
Yeah.
So first I say aloud, if you're nervous, then I say the next step is to stand in front of a mirror. Go in your bathroom.
That's a great
Look in the
suggestion.
mirror.
Yeah.
And speak to yourself. It's very awkward at times and weird, but you get a sense of how your face looks. Like, ooh, do I look stern? Do I not look happy? Do I look a little off? But the more you just speak to yourself in the mirror, you get a sense of like, oh, this is how I look when I'm talking. This is how I can take that moment and maybe add a little smile.
This is a great point for our sales girls as well.
Everyone.
If you can you don't have to smile, but if you're thinking a smile while you're talking, it does come across in your face or in your eyes.
Yeah.
So talk to the camera. And if you're really nervous, I will say to people, there's 3 different things you can do. You can say, record yourself on your phone for like a minute or 2, talking about anything, maybe just talking about yourself. Then look at it without video. Don't listen, with video without hearing yourself. So you're just looking at your body language.
Oh, that's smart.
Then next, turn it over and then just hear it.
Interesting.
Wow.
That way you're just hearing, oh, how does my voice? Do I sound a little monotone? Do I sound too squeaky or high? Am I finishing sentences, but it sounds like I'm asking a question? Because a lot of women have a tendency to go up at the end of a sentence. So it sounds like a question, which loses all our authority
Yeah.
or our strength.
Yeah.
So that's another little tip I will give people.
That is incredible.
That's
That's
actually really
incredible
smart.
for anything, sales, anything you're doing.
Yeah.
It's really important.
If you're walking on a stage or you're going on camera and you're really nervous, I say some ways to tampen down that nervousness is, how do we find a way to expel some of that extra adrenaline?
Yeah.
And I'm like, you could just be upset and maybe walk over to a wall and do a few you could be in a dress and heels, but you could do a few standing push-ups against a wall. You could just swing your arms freely.
Yeah.
Sometimes I tell
just
people.
bringing energy into your body.
Yes, or just releasing the excess that nerves that build up because you're like, oh my God, I'm going on stage or I've got to make this cold call.
Right.
Just
Such
a
a good
way
point.
to release that
That's great.
excess adrenaline. So then what you are pumping out is that fun, that good energy.
That's amazing. I love that. That's really powerful.
Yeah.
It's
great.
like,
Did you ever get nervous when you were interviewing celebrities at first?
I've never really gotten nervous. And I never was really nervous on television because I just had a blast with it. I'm like, this is great.
Right.
And then when I've had live audiences, because I used to be on The View every 3 weeks when I lived in New York City.
That's great.
And I always knew those are 5 hosts and each of them is a different personality.
that must have not been easy.
It was certainly daunting when I was on with Barbara Walters.
That's amazing.
Barbara is, professional, and she will be like this. It's almost like the blinders are on here, and until the camera's on, and then the moment the camera comes on, she's like, "Hello, how are you?" Here we go.
Right.
But I would push myself in those scenarios. I'm like, Barbara's amazing. I'm excited to be here. Hi, Barbara. Oh, I'm so glad to be back. But for those scenarios, you had an audience. So you get kind of jazzed up by the energy of the audience.
Right.
So
that's really cool.
yeah, so that's really cool. When you have no audience, then you have to bring it yourself.
Yeah.
Like when you're just talking to a
Yeah,
camera,
that's true.
you
Do
got
they
to
still
find
do
it.
that with like the audiences when they're filming at the live studios?
Well, there's a lot of live shows right
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a ton.
Yeah.
But again, it's not mainstream onto 7-Eleven, so they don't see it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's so funny. There was one thing I was going to ask you. So I don't know. I just drew a blank. God, it was like
It's okay.
something.
Long days, they happen.
So what do you? I know what I was going to ask you. What are you working on now?
Well, still appearing on camera.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I'll be on KTLA I think this month, and then I'm back on March 6th talking about International Women's Day.
Oh,
nice.
great!
It's an annual segment I do every year where I highlight female founders. And,
Wow.
you know, again, like any chance that I
I
can.
love that.
that's
I love that.
amazing.
Do you ever work with Fox?
I have in the past.
Okay.
I mean, I've been on all the national shows
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
I used to be on Kelly Clarkson all the time. Unfortunately, her show is ending.
Yeah.
The View, Good Morning America, Today's Show, and then I've hosted national shows myself. So I'm still doing that. My media training business is been doing really well.
Amazing.
That's great.
What is kind of wild that because I work with lots of athletes, actors, CEOs, executives,
Yeah.
musicians, singer-songwriters. I've gotten 2 singer-songwriters on The Voice.
That's
Oh, wow.
One of
incredible.
whom is going to be, I think her first live is on February 21st, I think.
Exciting.
And then I've gotten someone on America's Got Talent.
Well,
which is
tell
really
tell
great.
us about it.
Okay, I'm going to say, so The Voice, tune in, Natasha Blaine.
Wow.
She is incredible, and vote for her.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow, you have done so
Amazing.
much. This is so
but I will
exciting.
say that's great. And then I say anytime, and I do this, is I give back to young women. So
Yeah.
I'm part of a legacy society of a national nonprofit called Step Up, and we mentor girls and young women from under-resourced neighborhoods who aren't getting the access.
That's
so
incredible.
we're in New York and LA and Chicago and Dallas and Nashville and Florida and Texas. And we go into high schools and I lead workshops.
That's
and
incredible.
Talking to
Very cool.
girls from like 9th grade to 12th grade. And then
That's
I'll
great.
do one-on-one mentoring for young women who are in college all the way up to age 29.
That's
that's
amazing.
And
amazing.
helping
Yeah,
them
I'm very
to kind of
involved.
define their destination.
Wow.
That's amazing. I would
Yeah.
love to know more about that.
Yeah.
I'm very involved with the Midnight Mission, which also is a nonprofit,
Yeah.
and we've donated over $1 million worth of furniture to
Yeah.
these people so they can have furniture in their
Right.
homes.
So they can have a home.
And that's incredible. I love all of that. All of that is just so inspiring to see people that don't have anything and they get something
Right.
and they are just so happy and you're getting them knowledge and everything
Right.
else.
Giving them the tools and the knowledge and perhaps the skill set and ultimately the access that they wouldn't have gotten before.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
To kind of lead them down the path towards their destination. Ultimately for me, it's not hard work. It's easy
Yeah.
to do. It's part of what I do every day in my
Yeah.
job. And I'm just sharing those skills
Right.
and kind of giving them insight of where maybe do this, maybe change that. Hey, even if it's down to your resume or your interviewing skills.
Right. Yeah.
But for me, it's just also, it's rewarding. It feels good.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Oh my God.
when you
It's
do that, you
amazing.
must feel
Yeah.
great.
It truly makes my day.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
sure. It's such a different kind of feeling. And that was her first staging.
Yeah.
So
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A woman was she was a kid. She was in
Yeah.
her 20s and she
And
was homeless. And then she came into the organization
Right.
and she got sober and she got to actually live with her son there. And then she graduated and we donated a 2-bedroom apartment to her.
Yeah. And just being able to furnish it. And I remember the little boy was helping me bring the stuff in, and they were
Right.
just so happy and so grateful. And it was so nice to be a part of like that community and help them, like show them that they can do whatever they want to do and just
Right.
be a
How
part
old
of their
were you?
journey.
21.
21, young.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was 21 doing that.
Yeah. And
So-
what an amazing platform to kind
Yeah.
of kick off your career in
Yeah.
doing this.
100%.
And recognizing we're all used to be able to come home, drop our
Yeah.
keys,
Right.
get into our cozy bed,
Yeah.
and realizing not everyone has that
it's
opportunity.
So true, yeah. Yeah.
Well, if someone wants to call you or
Find you for media
yeah.
training or anything like that, how can they get a hold of you?
I mean, it's simple. It's my website is really the best access. AlisonDeyetteMedia.com. And I would say I pride myself in being pretty quick with responding to people reaching out.
well, that's important.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people would love to learn from you. You sound
Yeah.
like you've done a lot and
Yeah.
your career is absolutely amazing. And we are so grateful that you came on to The Power of We.
Thank you. It's
Thank
been a
you.
pleasure. Listen, to me, and I'm sure you feel the same way, getting to do what I love to do fills my cup with joy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
what it's all about.
it.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much.
much.